used to hide a coin from me in his curly hair, or behind his ear, or in his pocket, and he'd say where to go. But I think I really feel that I've been doing magic since conception. Because I feel that means from the very beginning. I really feel that God put me on earth to do magic.
Yeah. That's neat. You've blessed a lot of people doing it.
Thank you.
Magic has to be a very important thing in your life. Is there anything more important than magic to you?
Well, of course. There's one thing that's more important than everything, and that's Jesus. And God comes first in our family, and family is next.
That's cool. That's cool. That takes a lot to say when you can do this kind of magic, and yet that's not the number one thing in your life. God's just given you that ability to make money and entertain people.
That's right.
There's a lot more important things in life
Absolutely.
than that.
Absolutely.
How long have you known Jesus?
Well, I was 9.5 years old, and I was at a church in Florida, a Baptist church, and I accepted Jesus as my personal Savior, and He has made my life what it is today. It's been a wonderful life, and I'm so happy to know that my family and I will be together forever because of that.
Yeah, that's great to know. That's great to know. John, you've been a blessing to us as well as an entertainment tonight.
Thank you.
But I want to take just a couple of minutes if any of you have any questions. Please don't be afraid to ask John questions. Anything you want.
Do you text Susan?
Thank you. That's a nice compliment. I've had several students in the past. Currently, I'm focused on performing.
Good. Who's next?
Yes.
Do you perform in other countries?
Sometimes.
How many countries?
Well, when I won the Grand Prix, the big award that I won, it was in Holland, in The Hague, Netherlands. When I won the second place award 3 years prior to that, it was in Madrid, Spain. And right after I won the award, the gentleman wanted me to do my competition act in Germany. So he flew me from Los Angeles to Germany to do one 10-minute act one time, and then I flew home. That was kind of interesting. So that's the 3 times I've been to Europe. And when I was in Hawaii, I made a TV special that showed on NHK in Japan. And one time there was a television special made when I won the Grand Prix in Holland too that was on TV specials all over the place. I travel a little bit now. I coast hop once in a while. I go to the East Coast. Usually it's in the New York City area. I get to Texas once in a while, and I get to Las Vegas and San Francisco and Palm Springs a lot. Most of my work is here in Orange County and LA County.
John, when you become a world champion magician, what kind of competition did you have to go through in order to get there? You mentioned a little bit of some of the things you had to just give us an idea.
I actually started competing when I was just out of high school. When I was in high school, I saw 2 guys from my hometown in Ohio in a competition that was on the national level, and I was so impressed that I thought it would be cool to be in the competition. And as a junior, I won first place. I didn't expect to. So I went back as a senior and expected to win first place, and I didn't. And I went back again after some consideration and tried again. And then I went back again and tried again. And the 4th time I was in the competition, I won the award. I won again. And I developed an attitude that God helped me develop, that helped me have the right attitude to win. So I went to the next competition, and when they said 2nd place goes to Johnny Ace Palmer, I said, I'll be back. Because I knew that I was where God wanted me to be and what He wanted me to do. I had talent in music. I had talent in, an interest in the ministry. I took a lot of classes, and when I graduated from high school, I asked God what He wanted me to do. And I felt that God wanted me to do what I did best, and that was magic. I knew a lot of good musicians, a lot of good preachers. I didn't know very many good magicians. So I pursued it with all my heart because I felt that's what God wanted me to do. So I went to all those competitions for a long time. When I went to Madrid, Spain, and got second place, I said, as soon as they said Johnny Ace Palmer gets second place, I said, I'll be back. And instead of having a year to go back, I had 3 years to go back. And I prepared the act as much as I could. I got it as best as I could. And when they said the first, second, and third place, and they didn't say my name, I said, I'll be back. And my friend said, you got ripped off. You were the best one. And I said, I'll just go back in 3 years. And I'll go back every 3 years until I die or until I win, whatever comes first. And they said, for the first time in the history of magic, the Grand Prix, magic's highest honor will be given to a close-up magician. And then I knew I won. My hand went up to my mouth, and I could not move my hand from my mouth. And I went down to say thank you to the judges and to shake hands. I knew I had to remove my hand, so finally I got my hand out.
All the red balls.
Yeah. Out of the judge's mouth. But I went to shake his hand, and the first judge, he put his hands out like this, and he hugged me instead of shaking my hand. And he said, I have something very important to tell you. And I said, what's that? And he said, it was a unanimous decision. All the judges wanted to give you the Grand Prix. And that was a good thing to know, because 3 years ago before that, there was a lot of controversy. They didn't know if the guy really won it or should have or not, and that kind of thing. So I was really happy to hear that, first thing from the judge himself. And the second judge, I went to shake his hand, and he hugged me too. And he said, I have something very important to tell you. And he grabbed my shoulders and looked into my eyes. And I almost said, well, the other judge already told me. But I wanted to listen to him, so I said, what is it? And he said, I wanted to give it to you last time, 3 years ago, but I was outvoted. And I said, oh, that's nice to know. Thank you for telling me that. That was important too. It made me feel really good. I went to shake hands with the third judge, and guess what? He hugged me, and he said, I have something very important to tell you. I said, what is it? I couldn't imagine, you know. I thought maybe it was the same, or I didn't know. And he said, you made me love magic again. And that really let me know that God had me in the right place.
Johnny, thank you so much.
Yes?
Do you, other magicians do magic, do you know, is there a magic trick that you said, well, I wonder how they do that?
Not really. No, there have been lots, but I've always figured them out, or found them out. Not lately. I see some interesting things on TV, but then I take a step back and realize it's on TV. So that has a lot to do with it. But every time I've seen a magician, like at the Magic Castle or at a magic convention, I usually know what's going to happen about 10 minutes before it even happens, if you know what I mean. Yeah. One time a guy got my watch and I didn't know it. And he asked me what time it was, and I looked and I was surprised.
Nice watch.
Yeah, it was this
Where'd
watch.
you get that one from?
That's my Christmas present from 1985 from my mom and sister.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, guys, we had a good evening, didn't we? We're not quite finished yet. Now we have the real magician that's coming out. No. We had the best. Dessert. Very best for us, over.
The dessert is in the